Hi everybody, my name is Mike Benninger, owner of ChefMike.ca. That right there is a perfectly roasted chicken. You're saying to yourself, wow, he's a chef, that must be hard. By the time we're done here, this segment here in the real life, 5-6 minutes from now, you can do exactly this. And let me show you how. It's very simple, it's very easy. Start off with a high quality bird. Chicken in Canada is very inexpensive. It's very, very high quality. It's very reasonable to buy almost any time. When it's on sale, it freezes beautifully, so buy lots of it. This was actually purchased last week for $1.99 a pound. So sometimes they're on sale for cheaper than that. When they are, buy lots. Take your bird, clean the insides out, make sure it's got no giblets and all that kind of stuff out of there. Some folks like it cooked inside. I'm not one of them. Wash it under cold water and then pat dry so the surface has no moisture on it. Here's your trick. Start off, salt and pepper. Chicken and salt work very, very well. So what I like to do, hold it open, take a big teaspoon of kosher sea salt, dump it in there first. Next, garlic. This is a whole wheel of garlic, chopped in half to expose the cloves. Chuck the whole thing in there. You're not going to eat it anyway, but it's the premise for that whole 40 cloves of garlic in a chicken thing, that recipe that's very famous. This is the same way to kind of get around that. Works pretty well. Fresh herbs. You have to use the fresh one here. Dried ones just don't work. The two that work the best for chicken are thyme and rosemary. At least, that's the ones I like anyway. So take some fresh thyme and just kind of stuff it in there. You're not going to tie the bird shut, so don't worry about getting perfect with it. But you can buy fresh herbs year-round, almost all the time. If you like oregano or if you like marjoram, use that as well, whatever you like. Next, fresh cracked pepper. Use the cracked stuff that you crack yourself. The stuff out of a jar tastes like the jar. You might as well just, eat the jar. Pour that in there. Now, what I like to do to cut them is I like to use my knife and cut the tendons that are around the legs like this. Because what ends up happening is that when the heat actually hits the bird, it causes this to swell back up, and it keeps that dark meat much, much more juicy, which is kind of what I like. So on your board you go. This is melted butter. If you want to use olive oil, that's completely up to you. But take your butter, you want to rub that over the skin. Because what you're going to do is you're going to use this as kind of a glue to hold on additional seasoning. Because what you want to do is you really want the extra salt and pepper on the outside. It helps it to dry it out and draw the fat out. And that's how you get that lovely crispy skin over here. That's how it works. So just draw that out and pour that on there. And you're on your board. If you spill a little bit on there, don't worry about it. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to hurt anything. But lots and lots of it. Because again, some of it's going to rub off, some of it's going to be cooked off, so start off with a lot of it. A lot more than you might think. My brother-in-law is a professional chef in Scotland, and he says in Scotland, they say you can never put too much salt on a good bird. So we'll have to see. So start off with lots more salt. This is on the bottom, all over the wings and legs, and then turn it over. Now you're thinking, that looks like a lot of salt, but trust me on this, you're going to love how it turns out. Lots of cracked pepper as well. So you've got salt inside, pepper inside, garlic inside. You've got the fresh herbs inside. When the heat hits them, they're going to start to steam and give off their lovely flavors and juices into a nice low-sided glass dish. Some folks like metal, I like glass. Just put that in there. Now you'll notice that's on top of some celery sticks. The reason we're on top of celery sticks is that I wanted the bird to be out of the actual juices. Because what we're going to do is add a bit of water, probably half a cup of hot water in there. What that's going to do is not only is it going to steam, it's also going to create a little bit of a stock or a jus or basically a kind of a broth that you could thicken and make into a gravy if you really wanted to. And that's how you get that basis. So here's the one that I made about an hour ago. This goes into a 375 degree or 400 degree oven for about an hour or an hour and 10, longer than you might think. Because what you want is you want that lovely crispy skin on the outside. You want this muscle here to retract as all the tendons are cut. You want it to have time to kind of rest and really overcook, a little more than you might think. They say that chicken can't be, too young. Well, you really can't undercook it. It's not good to have chicken that's not really, really cooked all the way through. You can't have medium rare. There it is, simple and easy. And this bird will become this bird. That's how easy it is, ladies and gentlemen. I challenge you all to try it. That's probably a $9 bird. A family of 4 can feed themselves quite nicely on that. If your oven gets to 375 and your bird is fresh, you will get this result. I suggest you give it a try. My name is Chef Mike Benninger, owner of ChefMike.ca. It's great to be here in the real life kitchen. Thank you very much.